This has to be the have to hit.
See the green stack here.
And hello everyone, welcome to the second day of Mario Kart Wii World Cup play-ins. We'll be seeing today Team Lusophone play against Team Nordic for a pretty crucial match for both teams. I'm Scoped and I'll be casting this match with Fuse today. Hello Fusions.
Hello.
How are you doing today? Excited for this match, I bet?
Yeah, definitely. After seeing what happened yesterday, I'm really hoping that we're going to have more of the same because we like having close matches. We definitely love seeing brilliant plays, but all in all, we really just want to see, one team not get blown out by the other team. So I'm expecting a lot here.
Yeah, absolutely. Both matches that we've seen so far on the cast have been really close all throughout. The results may not show, especially for the match against Lusophone versus Asia, but it was really a story about hanging on throughout the entire match and then just one team really blasting through at the end, but keeping it close all throughout. And I do hope we're going to see more of the same here with Lusophone versus Nordic. Should we go on ahead and maybe start ahead with the team's LUs as the room is up? Do you prefer starting fusions or should I?
I can go with this one.
All right, I'll let you.
All right, so we have Jaggy, Nairo, Luke, Dudu, and we also have Akio bagging today instead of Hidan. So it's going to be interesting to see how the bagging battle is going to shape up today because Hidan did a pretty decent job for the most part yesterday, but it's also going to come down to whether or not it's going to be basically another reliance on whether or not Nairo's is going to go off and then hopefully his teammates will be able to support him, or will they actually be able to work together this time and not have to solely put all the eggs in one basket trying to win a match just from one person getting a 150. So I think it's pretty important here that they actually get their stuff together because yesterday, for the most part, I mean, like, it was really just Nairo having to fight an uphill battle pretty much by himself to just keep them in it.
Yeah, we talked about this actually during the precast. Nairo was pretty much almost on 150 pace going into GP2 until it pretty much all crashed and burned against Asia. So hopefully we'll see a lot more of the rest of the Lusophone Alliance able to get back up there against the Team Nordic today, which I'll be presenting right away. And Team Nordic, I do want to say, is actually a pretty not exactly uneven, but every member of this team plays on a different team. I'm not exactly sure how much synergy there is going on in there. The lineup for today is going to be Lonnie, Theodore, Arvo, Hedwig, and Wexos bagging. All of these players pretty much playing around the mid to somewhat low division, from Division 4 to Division 7, if we're talking about GSC. The two big players that are turning heads on this team right now are Lonnie, who played for Team Infinite this season, reached the finals of Division 4, and Theodore, really strong individual player, really fast on DDR. And I'm expecting both these players to put up a pretty huge numbers so far. Arvo and Hedwig obviously still being really good supporting runners for even at a relatively low seed for this World Cup, but as we mentioned before, this is a really huge match for both teams because on one hand, Nordic has not played a single match, but on the other, the Lusophone Alliance is really on the back foot now after that first loss against Asia.
Mm-hmm. Asia pretty much has like 1 foot into the group stage as they're already 2-0, beating both Lusophone, and they also beat Spain in 2 very close action-packed matches. So the win right here for either team is really crucial.
Absolutely, and seeing as I'm seeing some questions about it in the chat, I might as well mention some might be surprised to see Nordic this low, but unfortunately, the XI Nordic core, Faisal, Barney, and Fox obviously aren't really interested in the World Cup, so Nordic has a lot of crucial pieces that are missing, so they just find themselves in the playing stage because of it. So that's why some viewers might be surprised to see them this low, but given the members that they do have, unfortunately, they're going to have to get through this playing stage before getting to the groups.
Yeah, it is quite unfortunate having to miss out on such great players, but I mean, if they choose not to play, then that's their own discretion, so, you know, they might as well handle their business the way they want to. So there's no forcing them to play.
Absolutely. Speaking while we're waiting for the room to fill up, let's talk a bit about the format right now, because as you mentioned, Asia is already 1 foot in the door when it comes to when it comes to the group stage. For those that have not watched the first day, this playing stage consists of seeds 15 through 18, which are Spain, Nordic, Lusophone, and Asia. And essentially, the top 2 seeds of that playing stage will advance to the group stage, which are the top 16. And, well, essentially 2 wins pretty much guarantees that you pass unless 3 teams end up 2-1. Asia have that in the bag already at 2-0. They were definitely expected to be one of the better teams of this playing stage, but I would argue Nordic can also can probably be considered one of the top seeds in here as well. I don't know if it's possible. Maybe you'd argue that. Who knows?
Not much else to say there.
But yeah, regardless, we'll have to see who gets to join that top 16 there. What's your prediction, actually, on this match? We've talked about it a little bit before the cast, but I didn't get a precise prediction on this very match.
I think Nordic is probably going to win this one, because I feel like if it's going to end up being more the same as yesterday when Lusophone had played Asia, and they're going to have just one guy basically doing all the work, I feel like if they just decide, you know, after looking at that match, they're going to decide, you know what, we might as well shut this guy down early so he doesn't get started as fast, and then it's basically just going to end up being an uphill battle for them collectively as a team instead of it just being one guy.
Yeah, you definitely have the advantage of having that information there. Obviously, you don't want like a dedicated member to just schlag out to just slag him out as much as possible, but overall, just making sure that he stays nowhere near the front, slagging them, maybe focusing him a bit more can be a potential strat for Nordic to assure themselves the win. Nairo, overall, definitely probably the best individual player in this room, I would say. Theodore and Lonnie definitely competing in that regard, but he's definitely the player to watch in this match. Could be pretty explosive depending on what happens here. But as you stated, I do hope that the rest of the Lusophone Alliance can keep up with him for this next match. And he is going to be one of our POVs as well.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to see how Nordic is actually going to also be able to counter him, because I think that they definitely have the experience and they also have the speed, because I know that Arvo can every now and then. I don't know if he still got it now. He may prove me wrong or prove me right later, but he definitely had the speed at one point. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can maybe just, you know, dust off that rust and then to also basically contend in the front. But I think that Nordic overall seems like a much better, like a much more, you know,
Well-rounded.
well-rounded team. So I think that essentially it might end up being more the same as yesterday, where maybe they'll be LSA will be able to hang in there for a while, but I feel like if it just goes down to the later races, it's going to end up being more the same, where Nordic just ends up maybe breaking them down like how Asia did.
Well, we're gonna have to see on the racetrack. Still waiting for most players to join up. I have not kept an eye on the plane rep chats. Nothing really much going on. Just both teams joining so far. As for my own prediction, I would agree with you. I do think that Nordic is the favorite to win this here. Although it is unfortunate, seeing as a loss here could most definitely sends Lusophone down to the well, it's down to staying in the play-ins and not making it out of that bottom 4 spot. But who knows? Maybe Asia will win 3-0 and 3 teams will be 1-2, and maybe they'll have a chance if that happens.
I'll give you just a second. I'm just gonna pin the invite so everybody else can come in and check out this information here if they would like.
Yeah, absolutely. We do post the results and everything going on in the World Cup if you guys want to check it out. I do think it's gonna speed it up. It's bound to speed up quite a bit as well when the group stage goes on. A lot more matches going on per week, so there might be some that aren't casted in the end. So definitely the place you want to go to make sure that you can keep up on every bit of information.
I wonder how the group stage is also going to go, because the one thing that has to be noted is the fact that since these teams are basically playing to get in, they also get to choose which groups they get to go to. I don't know how that's going to be decided, but it's pretty crucial here to actually be able to to basically reach the group stage, and hopefully, if they're doing it by spinning the wheel or doing it just by RNG, then you just gotta hope that you get the first pick, because I already know that pretty much everybody's just seeing that Group F team, like, all those teams that are in there, and they're just thinking to themselves, you know what, I'm gonna try to avoid that as best as I can, because that just seems like it's just so many, like, there's just three really, really good teams, and it's like, like, oh man, like, what are we supposed to do with this? So it's important here to actually be able to finish strong, and I mean, Asia pretty much has 1 foot in this thing already as is, but depending on how they're going to decide whether or not they're going to choose or not, it's up for debate right now.
I would argue Group G and can also be pretty terrifying with India and Benelux as well. Benelux having a lot of individual talents, but Group F is absolutely the group to watch out for. We were talking about it yesterday. We talked about it. Well, you guys talked about it during the group drawing overall. USA, North Germany, and Latin America being quite the terrifying combo overall. Definitely going to be quite the bloodbath for that top three at least. Not sure who's going to be their fourth so far, but definitely a group to watch out for. Pretty much though, every single group has the potential to get some really strong contenders into the playoffs, and I'm not necessarily talking about a top four. Pretty much every. I do firmly believe that every single group in here has at the very least 2 semifinals contenders.
Mm-hmm.
So seedings are very close overall, so we're just gonna have to. Well, we're gonna have to see how it develops overall. If any team can maybe get some upsets in, maybe one of the top seeds just ends up not performing as well as we hoped for. But seeing how long some of said top teams have been playing for, it's definitely gonna be close.
Indeed, and a lot of the teams have also improved over the years as well.
Yeah, just overall through scrims, through other experiences. England, for example, with the since their World Cup win, Xander has won D1 once more with AI. Zach has been switching through multiple teams, won D1 as well with JX. So just a lot of experience building them up overall. I feel England might be one of the teams that beneficiated the most from that hiatus, possibly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially having Rosen now in their ranks, and he's become a really, really strong player after just 2 years, going from D3 to going to D1 in just about 2 years, basically.
To winning D1 even. That's the most impressive part. Winning D1 in those 2 years from D3. And yeah, that Team England is looking scarily stacked. Definitely deserving of that top seed, I believe.
Well, yeah, the champs after all, so yeah.
They're gonna have to see. Gonna have to see how they fight for to keep that trophy. We're still waiting, unfortunately, for the room here. The 7 in room. We're just gonna have to check on the planes reps. Apparently, we're just Wexos is still spot holding, so we're just gonna have to wait for that to happen. Hopefully we don't see too many delays and disconnects. We have been plagued with those, unfortunately. For those that have seen the GSC D1 finals, they know what I'm talking about in that regard. 2 hours for match 1. Hopefully we won't have to deal with anything of the same, but right on cue we do see the last runner of the Lusophone Alliance joining.
I really do not want to have to sit through another 7 DCs, because I was going to stream host that GSC D1, but I had like practically no time because I had finals and stuff to study for. But then next thing you know, I just see that like they reset room like 6 times, and I was like, what in the world is going on right now?
Yeah, definitely Astro saving us with that late stream host, absolutely. As he often always does, I will say, we may be casting this, but Shoutouts to our stream host, as always, Fusions being one of them, Astro being another prolific one as well. Wouldn't be here without them, so quick shout out to them before the match starts. Figure might as well. But we do see, finally, the last member of the Lusophone Alliance bagger, Akio, joining in, so should get that match started. Pretty usual picks, Maple, Dry Ruins, Sherbet, RBC, depending on team preferences. And yeah, overall, hoping for a close match.
Same here. Also, is it possible if we could get that the game audio up pretty soon? Because I don't want it to be all silent and stuff like yesterday.
Yeah, unfortunately, I believe that we don't, like, one of our POVs doesn't have sound, so unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with that for a little bit.
Damn, no sound. Dude, that is insane. How's that even possible? Playing this game with no sound.
A lot of sorry, my bad. It's recommended for streamers just to not have mic on. Maybe some just prefer having no sound at all. A lot of them play without game music as well, so possibly we're just not hearing the music, but we'll hear the sound effects possibly.
Hopefully, it's not copyrighted music as well, so our stream doesn't get taken down.
has it happened before? Actually,
no, but on the replays they do get muted for a duration. So
okay, yeah, that has happened to me before. So I do know about this one, but I've never seen a stream be taken down for that. Right in the thick of it would be quite unfortunate. Oh, and right in queue, there's our sound.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so Maple Treeway, Sherbet Land, pretty expected picks overall. For 1-3 and for 1-3 and for evens. How important do you consider first pick to be in those wars, Fusions?
I feel like the picks themselves can matter, but I feel like it's what you do with the picks that make it better. So, Sherbet Land to kick off, and I think it's pretty crucial for whichever team has the even spots to get shrooms early, just to shroom up right away. Because it could easily be decided in just the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Any gold in here pretty much guarantees you a first place for most of it. And actually, the first member of Nordic hitting the wall instantly, so Theo forced to wait around a bit. Pretty much every single person in Nordic in the mid-pack back bomb gonna connect onto... oh my goodness, a lot of
bodies are just dropping everywhere right now.
A lot of bodies dropping. Jaggy being the only one up front. Nairo showing up as well, though. And there's our top two from the Lusophone Alliance running away already. Theo and Lonnie. The two players we mentioned on the Nordic Alliance to watch out for, right on their trail already.
It's going to be important to see if they could have some good backing spots here, having top two as well. They could have plenty of turns, but they're going to have to avoid any sort of close back spam. Ooh, nice. Taking out Nairo right there.
Very nice head onto Nairo, shrooming up to try and disrupt him right away. Pulls the perfect item for that, and now Jaggy is all alone in the front. Snipe attempt going to connect? No, unfortunately, a bit too short.
Jaggy's got to be careful here, though, because that green could just bounce off all sorts of walls and whatever.
Yeah, the geometry on Sherbet Land is definitely one to watch out for when it comes to snipes. Just can bounce at a lot of really weird angles, but Jaggy should keep far enough of a lead to prevent that red from connecting at least. Goes a bit wide. Fib gonna go tight, not connecting. Theo staying vigilant.
Gotta be careful as well. Yeah, he's got to be careful not backing too much, though, as he wastes both his reds right there. But he's gonna not back too much because he could just leave himself exposed if he gets too close.
Ooh, Theo gaining a bit on Jaggy, getting close to a drafting spot there. Jaggy's last item being gone. Filling up from Hedwig, actually. Nordic in a lot of those top spots now.
Ooh, the green.
Theodore does take one. And
nope, Jaggy managed to survive. Okay.
Both backers still going backwards. I do not believe anyone has shock just yet. Wexos might have just pulled, but now Nordic in a really good spot with Theo in one. We should probably switch POVs just to get more eyes on the mid-pack here, as we do see Nairo with a start in 7. Back bomb onto 2 of Nordic, failing. Nairo forced in a
crazy
star.
lag. Oh, there's that blue.
Really good blue there is going to connect onto Theo, most likely.
Yellow shock blue right there. I don't think it's gonna be enough though. I think it was a Nordic shock just to cancel that. So getting him to set here.
And dodging someone else as well. And yeah, now Nordic, really good race to start. They do get 8th, but I do believe they get top 2 out of that dodge and canceling that blue with Theo. But yeah, overall, Theodore an absolute masterclass in the front, dodging every single back spam that Jaggy could throw at him, and just had the patience necessary to slowly gain on him, putting more and more pressure until he could just shroom up, get into first, and keep that first.
I think that Jaggy definitely could have slowed down a little more with those back spams. Yeah, nice little top 3 as it shows on the other POV. I think Jaggy definitely could have spaced out his items a little bit better because he was just backing pretty much every turn he went. I think it would have been better if he could try to like time it so that way if he had to change his line a little bit or like make sure that he wouldn't get pretty much the quickest route just to get through. And like I said, he basically left himself exposed right there because they got close enough to where they could hit him and they just got ahead of him pretty quick and then he was just not able to really capitalize after that.
As well, a bit of just a bit of mechanical, not exactly misplay, but just not driving as tight as he possibly could have. Theo gained a lot of time on him at the end of lap 2, almost got into drafting spot, forced a Nana out of Jaggy just to try and cut him off, but wasn't enough. We do see BCW and Gardens there being picked with a rogue RBC on the side of Nairo. But it is going to be Gardens that is going to be picked, thankfully for the Lusophone Alliance, trying to get back into this match.
Yeah, they can't afford to fall behind because we saw what happened yesterday. Like, Nairo basically kept them up, but right now he's not starting off too hot.
Alright, Theo, we're just going to follow Theo at the start in first there. A lot of, as we all know on Gardens, any amount of shrooms can just completely dismantle those top spots. How many cut takers will we see? We see one of them, but it is Lonnie, it is Theodore's teammate, so he's safe for now. Nana in the Troy spot, not going to connect on anyone so far. From
No, they got somebody. They got somebody.
Oh, no cheering made me confused a little bit, but Lonnie and Theodore should just stay in the front for now. Lonnie should have more shrooms as well in that top spot there.
Yeah, he most certainly does, so it's up to Theo to just put some nicely placed backs here.
Let's switch POVs onto Nairo, thank you. Has a POV, oh goodness, has a golden in 5th there, should be able to catch up to that Nordic top 3. Jaggy right in front of him, and a blue is going to help with that, or at least it would if Lonnie didn't have more shrooms in the front there, should stay up there. Nairo is going to get into 2nd though, to going to try and contest Lonnie a little bit now that he only has probably only 1 shroom left. Either that or he just dodged it in the cut, depends.
I think he does have 1 more because he took cut first lap and he was able to dodge the blue and take it in the 2nd lap, so he probably has another shroom.
Nairo does get a shroom, going to be able to follow after him a little bit. No backs from Lonnie makes us suspect that he does have 1 more shroom. I should probably switch over to Theodore then. Both of those are probably just going to take the cut and be fine. Snipe attempt on the side of Theodore, not going to connect. And yeah, top two just takes cut so far. It's going to be a 1v1 for Lonnie against Nairo, but it's up to Theo and Arvo to just handle the rest of Lusophone. But top 4 is pretty broken so far. It's only up to Nairo to try and salvage the race for Lusophone if a shock isn't pulled.
Keo's just sitting there, so Keo has it.
It is going to be used. We do see a Daisy and a Funky dodging in the back, but I do believe the only Daisy runner is on the Nordic squad. So not exactly sure. Still top 4 is still pretty much broken away, so Nordic should get 1-3-4 in spite of that shock. Just dominant race for them once again.
Yeah, I wish I could have been able to really put more emphasis on the bagging battle because the other thing too was that like LSA having shock, they quite literally, we don't know when they got it, but they definitely could have had a much earlier call considering how broken away top 4 was.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't have eyes on them for very long, but I do believe that Akio most likely pulled really late, I would assume. That it definitely should have been used earlier by LSA. If not, you're so far gone in the back. Top 4 is broken away, you need to do this. But yeah, 1-3-4. Once again, if seemingly Nordic cannot get every player in top 6, but you can't complain about a 1-3-4 regardless.
Yeah, they're already off to a very fast start, up 30 points in just 2 races already. And like I said, if Lusophone can't do what they did yesterday and just basically basically Nairo having to score all sorts of points just to keep him in it, then it's just gonna end up in a blowout.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been the only one up front. Jaggy was definitely up front on Sherbet, but wasn't able to keep his spot, unlike Nairo there, keeping 2nd pretty much from the end, from the start of lap 2 to the very end of the race. But yeah, so far has been the only one to really maintain a frontal presence on the side of LSU.
That's a Maple
That was like
Treeway and Delfino here.
Maple Treeway is going to be picked. Nordic chaining a running track pick in 1-3 there. 1-4 just going 1-4 just going for the main route, 3 taking cut. That could be really scary for Nairo going into this race.
Yeah, he's got to start. He's got to start fast because the majority of Nordic in top spots and having third jump into cut is very crucial as well.
The controller DC, he doesn't get full startup boost. That's really unfortunate.
That's a new one. It's happened twice now because I saw it happen in Sherbet land as well.
I'm gonna throw the red up at Darvo, shouldn't connect. And yeah, off that botched startup boost, Nordic just get a free top 3. I assume Theo just pulled Shrooms to get up there. Red thrown at Lonnie, not gonna connect just yet. Red skips him, goes to Theo, not gonna connect
and
either.
Hedwig gets him as well.
And that's top 4 for Nordic now. Or close to.
Yep, Theo's just with a Shroom in first. So any blues, nothing to worry about. It's all about what 3 and 4 decide to do because they can schlag and get slagging items as well, just to slow them down.
I do see a member of LSA up there actually. I don't know if it's Dudu or someone else, but I do believe a member of LSA is up there. It is Dudu actually.
Yeah, but we're gonna need more than one up there. We need a lot more than one.
Absolutely, especially on Maple. That Shroom cut does save quite a bit, but all of those
those
backstops
shrooms.
on the branches. No, that Shroom so far should be fine. Now we're gonna have to chain these. We do see both baggers still at the set, I believe. No one should have shock just yet.
Anything crazy with this bomb? Oh no, he might hit his own teammate with that.
That was pretty close, but I do believe that is now just top 4 on the side of Nordic now.
A POW as well should get him on the jump, and top 2 was not affected by it at all.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems that without a shock, without another power item...
There's the blue at least, but he's just going to dodge that.
Yeah, we do see it right on the other POV. That is a free dodge for Theo. And just keeps that top 4. If this is shockless, this is pretty much curtains for LSA for this race.
See if any of the baggers are about to drop off. Yeah, Wex is to drop, so no one has it right now, but Akio needs to get it. Oh, there's another blue.
We do see it on the other POV. Theo gets hit, but should stay in that top 4 regardless. They're just so far broken away. You don't need to chain anything. You can't risk a TC there. Mega, I'm not exactly sure who was at that
That
Mega,
was Lonnie just slowing him down.
And getting Nairo with that TC as well and getting another one of his teammates.
That pretty much just puts a stamp on this race.
Just massive plays on the side of Nordic overall, not letting LSA get even a touch of top 2 throughout the entire race, ending in that top 4, shockless, no chance of coming back.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about, but like I said, it's again, because they had all eggs in one basket yesterday, now that one guy is not performing to where you need him to, and they're basically already down, I'd say at least like 50 points of this, which is only race 3, so it's going to be a long day for these guys.
Top 4, I do believe it's down even 60 with that. It should be down around 60 by this point already, and it's only the 3rd race and we're down 60.
I mean,
my goodness.
They got a lot of ground to make up. They're already down 61 points in just 3. And I mean, like they have to just answer back as fast as possible because I mean, like that lead just starts snowballing, and then at that point, by like race 8, they could be down by like 140.
Absolutely, and I do believe we saw a DC actually, so it is going to be a quick reset. At the very least, you're glad if you're LSA, you have some time to catch your breath after all of that, get a bit of a mental reset in. But I do expect claimed spots to come out of Nordic. Yep, instantly calling a claimed spot back. So they're still going to stay in top 4 regardless of that reset. And if a track like TF is pulled, I am really scared for Lusophone's chances, even just coming out of GP1.
They gotta get some big races just to come back, man. Like, going down 61 is already bad enough as is.
Not to mention within just 3 races, but yeah, just overall, unfortunately, as we stated, no one except Nairo so far has really managed to establish any frontal presence. And even with getting blues, getting some form of power items, we saw a POW come out from them as well. They just haven't managed to close that distance at all throughout the entirety of Maple Treeway. The only one that came close was Nairo was Dudu when he managed to get into that top 3, but immediately getting hit out, thrown back to the 5th position. And then Nairo right at the end pulling that TC, but Lonnie, expert schlagging work on the bridge there. Nowhere to go for LSA except under his wheels.
Yeah, I mean, Nordic playing well. I mean, there's not really much else I could say about that because, like I said, I feel like they're a much well-organized team. Like, they're much better organized than Lusophone, so it's gonna be really, like, I don't even know how the hell they're gonna even be able to do anything to, just come back here because, I mean, they don't have, don't have any just sufficient firepower just to, basically think to themselves, it's like, how exactly are we supposed to get up here? And how are we supposed to, like, actually maintain it? Because everyone in Nordic just pretty much knows, okay, well, I mean, we could just pick these guys off one by one because there's only going to be one of them up in the front, and that's how it's been pretty much these first 3 races, where Jaggy was the only guy up there for LSA in the first one. The second one was more or less basically just like flipping between Nairo and him, and then his third race, I mean, they basically got taken out within seconds, and especially with that controller DC as well, so he didn't get a really good startup, but LSA pretty much is just like down in the mud right now.
Yeah, you pretty much need to get a good race in now, or even then. There's a bit of I talk a lot about the mental aspect when I talk during like GSC high div finals, but for these teams that have a lot less synergy, that for some of them have a lot less experience, that mental aspect can be really important there, because for LSA, you're already down 0-1, you're already pretty much you're close to the end of your tournament if you don't get a win, and you just get blown out at the start of those 3 races. If you don't get a race in now, on the mental aspect, it could spell disaster for LSA really quickly.
Well, let's see how they're going to respond, because right now, the 61-point gap, I mean, they don't have, like, I don't really know what I could really say about this, really, man, because they just need to go early. And, I mean, like, I just have nothing else to really say, bro, because this is just slaughter right now.
This is a now or never kind of situation, pretty much.
Like, it's pretty damn obvious that they just need to somehow make up that 61 points, but I mean, with how they're playing right now, I mean, it just doesn't look likely.
Yeah, that's understatement of the century right there, that's for certain. What are we waiting for here? Okay, we're just waiting for confirmation. So yeah, back into the thick of things. Like we said, this would be an amazing comeback by LSA, though. I will say that much. If they do manage to get a comeback in after essentially just eating Nordic's dust during the first 3 races, it would definitely be pretty inspiring from them.
Like, dude, I don't even know, man. I was really hoping for this to not happen, but I mean, I hit the nail on the head because I literally said it. It's just, they got one guy to do all the work, and then once that one guy's doing all the work, it just all goes to nothing.
Pretty much. We feel like broken records, but really, this has just been the overwhelming consensus throughout this first half of the match, really.
I mean, literally everybody knows. Everybody knows they're getting, dude.
I mean, not even first half, first quarter, and that's the scariest part.
I can't even try to be optimistic because I mean they're just getting battered right now.
All right, let's look over to Theo at the start here, see if they can see how well they keep those top spots. Doesn't get the draft though, so a bit of that advantage of TF.
Ooh,
and actually,
early snipe.
Getting sniped out as well.
Okay.
All right, we were talking about it. LSA already having members in the top spot now. Nairo gonna try and contest Lonnie a little bit. Trip Green's perfect for that. Gonna try and snipe him up there. Doesn't connect, unfortunately, but still is able to keep that second place for now. Not exactly sure who else in the Lusophone alliance is up there. Gonna have to see, is there a back on cut? There thankfully isn't. Nairo was just able to stay behind Lonnie so far. Interesting lag nana there, but should still be in position to try and snipe him out, but Nordic is, with Hedwig, is right on his tail.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see also what the mid pack is looking like right now, because I know that in TF you get to have, I think, 1 or 2 chances just to pull Bill, so your bagger would just go forward for a little bit just to troll the runners for whatever items they got. And if they got Bill, then your bagger has free boxes, but by the looks of it, they haven't really been touching boxes, so I think neither should have Bill right now.
Yeah,
You see
and
Daisy going backwards as well. They probably could have it, or they're trying to just fake each other out.
And unfortunately, we see an all too familiar sight now with Nairo being the only one up there. But after getting hit out, Nordic is just going to take a commanding lead in that top 2-4. But Nairo is going to have to try and stay in there. The only hope for his team, as he pretty much was all of yesterday and seems to be today as well. Hedwig going to try and mega him out. Doesn't manage to hit anything, though. Maybe getting greened out by Nairo early. Greens don't connect, unfortunately. Still, oh, actually, never mind. Did connect on that last green there. Gonna allow a member of Lusophone Alliance to try and get into that top 5, but Theodore and Lonnie should just stay into that top 2 for now, unless Nairo can maybe pass him right at the end. Dodges the fib, dodges the green as well, but it's not enough.
Yep, another big race for Nordic here, and I mean, like, just none of them are anywhere to be found right now. I mean, we're just looking left and right, and the only person that we see up the entire time is Nairo. I mean, man, they gotta do better than this.
We saw Jaggy a little bit up there at the start, but I suppose just once again immediately getting hit out, and LSA just haven't been able to find anything.
I mean, we basically have ran out of words to just say, because I mean, they gotta find some way to. They gotta find some way to come back.
Top 2,
Like,
4,
that's
6.
all there is to it, man.
Jaggy gets in 5th. That's nowhere near enough. That should be another, what, 20-point race for Nordic by this point?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, I just already know that the moment the lead just starts going up and up, the more, like, the less interesting it's gonna be, because it's like, what is there to cast? I mean, we're casting a slogger right now.
That's another, that's 19 point race. We're up 80 by the end of race 4. We're winning by 20 on average per race on the side of Nordic. My goodness.
They're already down 80 in 4 GPs, dude. Oh lord.
In 4 races, you would hope it was
4
GPs.
Well, yeah, they would definitely need 4 in order to make up whatever deficit this is. My goodness.
And Bowser's Castle as well. Oh, we're chaining the running track picks from TF to BCW. No, I was about to say, no, the only Daisy is on Nordic side. I was about to say maybe a Rogue Ultra Taker, but unless Nairo can pull off the Ultra, and he doesn't get the starting. Oh my goodness, Nordic already in top 4 after that.
I already know that this is just not looking too hot right now, because let's look. I have a Daisy as well, so they could just do glitch, and he just gets trailed out immediately.
And no chain either. You gotta pray for a potential shroom and maybe have to take the cut there, but unfortunately not gonna be enough. We do see Juju wants to get Juju and Jaggy in that top 4 actually, and Nairo megas Theo as well.
Well, forces them to build though, which is unfortunate, because now the baggers are gonna each of them have an equal chance of just pulling that bill now. So whoever's respawning first better hope to God that they just pull shock here instead.
Pretty much 4-5-6 on the side of LSA. Not as bad as we were expecting at the start, but we do know on our other POV, we do see that Theo has a POW there. POW can be absolutely devastating there.
Ooh, a bomb.
Nice bomb.
Gets 2 of them.
That connects on 2 of them. Hedwig is the only one up there. Nairo shrooming up now, unfortunately, hits that fib and is going to get into the wall. That POW doesn't really do much, though, on the side of Nordic there, so keeping 2-3-4 for now. Gonna have to try and block that glitch maybe for the Daisy next lap. Blue's thrown. Do we
Everyone
see
just died. What just happened?
LSA is in top 2 for the first time in this entire war. LSA in top 2, maybe the start of the comeback that they need. Not exactly sure what's going on in the backing battle there. We do see Theo goldening up there. Luke has a bit of work to do. We're gonna try and head out Theo there after the golden up. We know he has no item, nothing, and he does get hit out by that Nana. Does Luke have anything? He does block it. That is still top 3 for LSA. The Nana connects as well. Juju is the only one back there in 6, gonna maybe get redded out, but as long as Shock is not pulled, LSA have a huge opportunity to come back right now.
Can't see if
Star.
either of the baggers are going to jump off there. Yeah, both of them do, so there is no Shock in play right now. And let's see what Theo's going to do here. He's going to up the chain the Star right here into a Mega.
Juju is off, unfortunately.
I'm surprised that... Oh, Hedwig also made glitch. Oh, there's a Shock right there.
There's the Shock. And
Just
it
as Lonnie
dodges
as well.
it
Hedwig
dodges
made glitch and dodged.
Oh no, right as we were mentioning it, double dodge on the side of Nordic to get top 2.
I think it might have been top 3. Yeah, Arvo shroomed up at the end, so that's just yet another race. I mean, at this point in time, it's like, I mean, like, what are you supposed to do now? It's like they're 0-1, and now they're already just down by like 100 already, and it's only been 5 races. I mean, like, what else can they do?
We had such a good opportunity there, but unfortunately we just weren't able to get a good enough break for we weren't able to get any break for LSA to just keep those top spots after that dodge. Nordic able to come back, and yeah, that's another top 3-8 on the side of Nordic. I feel bad. I genuinely believe that LSA could pull that top 3 off, maybe get something to come back there. Akio even made the respawnless strat, was able to chain earlier for a potential Shock or just stay in 10, but wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, just looking at this table, I mean, literally everybody on NDC is just playing well, and each of them just scoring, and it's just everything is going right for them. And LSA, I mean, like, they're just not able to really capitalize, and even if they had top spots, it's just a Shock to just get them down, and now they're down basically 100. So
yeah, down 99 going into not even the second half of the war, or one race before that. They need that Delfino square pick at this point.
Yeah, if Nairo was on like 50 or something, like not even 50 points, like at this rate, he'd have to be on like 70 points. That basically he's chopping down to like 70. But yeah, this is what I mean. This is a team game and an individual game. You got to make sure that everybody is able to play their role. Everybody is able to actually, you know, buy in and make sure that they all work together properly. So that way, it's going to be a lot easier to actually get things done. But since these guys, like, it showed yesterday that it's solely relying on one. Well, I wouldn't say solely relying, but like, it's clear that Nairo is by far their best player. But even then, he's getting shut down right now by everybody else.
Yeah, we don't like using the term carry in terms of cast, but in this case, Nairo really has been the carry so far for LSA, and unfortunately, it just hasn't been paying off so far. NDC still keeping that top 3 for now, with Lonnie trying to schlag a little bit. That Shroom should allow Nairo to get up there. If Lonnie doesn't hit him, but he does. So another opportunity shut down by Lonnie. Lonnie has been playing exceptionally well in that 3 to 4 spot, just trying to get LSA off. But right as I say that, oh, Nairo forced to go around. You lose so much time there. But the blue is thrown, though. It is going to connect onto Hedwig. Lonnie is in second. Jaggy shrooming up into third. That red is going to connect. Is Jaggy off?
I think he is just gone. Yeah, he is. No, he's not gone, but there's still the bottom 3 and a Shock. Oh, okay, yeah, this is over.
Shock dodging top 2. Oh.
This is over. This is over.
And Theo dodges in a Mega as well, I believe, gets into fourth. That is
yeah, they are top 3. Top 3 is breaking in 5th place. Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, top 3 is breaking in this 5th place TC. As long as he doesn't get past here, I mean, there's really not going to be anything to do. Yeah, no, he's not even close. Yeah, I think this one's just curtains. And he has the POW. Yeah, this is curtains.
Yeah, POW really the biggest item on DKM, just allows you to T-POW a lot of people on the cut. But yeah, no one is nearly close. We have to spam the bill on the side of LSA to try and keep up. Luke now the only one in that top 4. Both baggers still chaining, I believe, but you need it on the side of LSA at this point. Maybe a dodge of the bottom 2. Nowhere to be seen.
Might as well just go for glitch at this rate.
And we have the blue shell on the side of Theo. We can't even throw the blue. Oh no. But,
well, now they can.
Theo
looks like he's gonna last, but I mean, he did his job. He just got the power items, so that way they couldn't do anything to that top 3.
I mean, even then, that's just going to be another top 3A on the side of Nordic, not anything that they haven't seen. Nairo with the blooper there, unfortunately, not going to be able to get
Oh,
any
another little
spot.
dodge.
A late shock, but doesn't matter. Top 3-7 for Nordic. The gap just keeps widening, and I'm sorry to say, but at this point, if we get one or two, not even one or two, if we get like any more somewhat winning races on the side of Nordic, it could very well be curtains already.
I didn't think that this would be that bad of a blow, because I did say that if Nairo doesn't play well, then there's a good chance it just snowballs. But, like, I mean, they are on a rapid pace to just basically beat these guys by at least 200.
Imagine that losing. I feel bad losing by 200 cup.
I feel so bad to just cast this because it
Yeah, absolutely.
literally looks like, to me, it's just like a boxing match where one guy literally has just no chance of winning. He's just getting the crap beaten out of him.
Yeah, not Nairo just not being able to carry the rest of this lineup so far, and it's just gonna keep spiraling, I would imagine. The only maybe saving grace would be in a Kyo masterclass or getting a lot of shocks to come back online, but even then, at this point, yeah, you're right. I feel bad casting this.
Like,
Oh goodness.
I just don't want to look anymore. It's just terrible. Like,
Some would,
no,
some would argue it's maybe a car crash in slow motion.
oh,
But
jeez. Okay, I wouldn't compare it like that. Oh my god.
some just can't help but keep watching to see the carnage left behind. But at this point, it
Car crash is crazy work.
it might be a bit much, admittedly. Theo bagging for the box 8 almost immediately, getting golden, should be able to get up there alongside his teammates. Jaggy getting hit out almost immediately as well. And yeah, that's gonna be close to it's top 245 so far. And actually a member of LSA dodge zooming up there. It is Luke gonna be left in second there. A lot of people taking the cut. Nordic in 1, 3, 4, 5 as they always are, but this time it's not Nairo, it's Luke. Gonna have to see if he can keep the pace. Arvo in front so far, dodging that red thrown out by Lonnie. Bagging battle, not exactly sure what's going on with the actually, one of the baggers made strat. Akio, I believe, made strat. The other bagger still left there, so Akio shocks, like I said, could be a potential way to try and start a late comeback. And Luke gets hit out, but Theo does get bombed out as well. Great bomb. Not exactly sure by who it was. It does connect out to Hedwig as well, so big bomb by whoever that was. Possibly Jaggy, and Jaggy fails the cut right as I say this. Top 2-4 for Nordic. Luke's still up there, but unfortunately in third now, and Lonnie must have passed him at some point, maybe on the double. No shocks so far, I would imagine. Maybe Akio has in 10, in which case I would expect a shock coming out in that bottom 2 right there.
Oh god. Oh Jesus.
Really, really close fib there. Will we see a bomb thrown out onto Luke? It is backed. Not going to connect on anyone due to shrooming up. That red should connect onto him unless we see a massive dodge. But that CC is not going to be enough to do so. It does break on the chasm, but forces him to take single. So Theo does get into fourth off of that, the expected result. Will we see an outline on the ending? Shock comes out late.
Oh.
Theo gets a really bad spot. Hedwig. That is Hedwig in the bill, so that's top 3-5 for Nordic again.
Bro, just... Dude.
Oh no.
Please. Just end it. End it. I can't watch anymore, bro. End it.
I saw the bill, I was hopeful. And I just see Hedwig.
Oh my god. You just, dude.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. This is not. This is an empathetic laugh. This is not. We're not mocking LSA. We genuinely feel bad right now. This is not mockery. This is just genuinely a massacre.
Dude. I mean, come on. I'm sorry, but like, Jesus. Like I don't know what you guys want us to do because I mean like like we're literally watching us slaughter. There's like
Yeah,
there's no point in commentating this.
there's a win by 143 by race 7. Like we're sorry. We're so sorry. We're just describing what's happening, and it's still a
Oh,
massacre.
I'm
Is
sorry.
the only hope right now for LSA? We'll keep it. We'll keep it realistic at this point. The only hope for LSA is like 5 top 5s in a row, and that's the only way they can win this. Not 5 top 4s. 5 top 4s in a row is enough. Or like 5 top 3 5s or anything along those lines. But if this race is a winning race for Nordic, it is mathematically impossible.
Nah, man, I just can't.
I'm trying here. Okay. Okay, well, this is mathematically the last possible chance for LSA to come back from this. So
What race
now
are
or
we on?
never, as they say.
Race 7. Okay.
All right, Nairo immediately bumped out. It's fine. We're on Delfino Square. Definitely.
Oh, 11. Okay. Wait, what? No. Wait, you have that? Oh, wait, I can't even read that. Sorry, that says 8.
No worries, no worries. But yeah, Delfino definitely the track where a lot of the pack just gonna get scrambled around that double cut. Luke almost bombing out his teammate there. Thankfully, Nairo not able to make the double.
What just happened there?
I believe he just shroomed early and didn't get enough distance. Possibly the angle was wrong, but Theo has a shroom in one, so first is not secured, but per se, but it is definitely likely, especially with Hedwig right behind him. We do see Akio in 10th, though. Shock really matters on this track, so possibly chaining 2 shocks could be the way that Akio carries his team across this first of 5 finish lines. Nice golden on the side of Nairo as well. Should be able to take the golden properly. A lot of LSA hit out in the mid pack, though we did see Jaggy and Dudu having to go a bit slower there. Hedwig and Theo taking the cut in top 2, but Nairo should be at the very least close to them. Unfortunately, doesn't get the chain, so not able to hit them out almost immediately. But we do see a first shock. Akio is spinning, though. It was a Nordic shock, I believe. We'll have to see if anyone dodges up there. Unfortunately, both our POVs in the front. Nairo read it out by Arvo there, and Nordic once again top 3-5, dominant spot so far. And if another shock is not pulled by Akio, literally pretty much around double. It has to be around the double. Nairo getting that triple shrooms, but like we said, they need a set of 5 really big races there. So if he's the only one taking cut, it is still going to be Curtains. And Nairo, unfortunately, bumps the tree a little bit. Gonna try and take the cut, gets to third, but the Nordic members are just too far ahead. Hedwig and Theo were just able to chain double into single on lap 1 and 2. That is top 2 for Nordic, and that is officially Curtains 8 races in.
Yeah, well, that was quick. But
Goodness.
I mean, yeah, like that's literally what I said was probably going to happen. Is if LSA doesn't start quickly, then it's just going to end up being a very lopsided match. And I know we were like pretty much like, dude, like we weren't really, just like we're not mocking these guys at all because
No.
They deserve all the respect in the world. But it's just at this point in time, it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, like you can't just help but like laugh or something about when you're just watching this sort of thing happen, because it's like what are they supposed to do? Like they're trying their best, I give them that, but it's like it just sucks to know that we're just sitting here and it's like they just have no chance, man. Because I always want to give them, a little. I want to be a little optimistic, just to say that they have a chance. But I mean, they're already down by a lot.
By this point, it's down 160 with 1 GP left. You would have, well, once again, if we try and still give the benefit of the doubt, because we always still want to do that, it would take Wexos an unbelievable amount of pens by this point to try and get LSA back into this match, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I could just try to stop whatever's left, I guess, because They're already down by over 150, and I mean, I just want them to not lose by 200.
What I believe someone. Do I really want to bring this up? I believe someone gave like the record of the biggest difference in World Cup, and I'm not sure if we should talk about it or not because it is
Mm,
data, but like it's not good data by any means.
I would rather just not, just because
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
already, dude. We're beating on a dead horse at this rate. You know what?
yeah. No,
Let's
absolutely,
just
absolutely.
not do it. Let's not do it. Nice snipe right
Oh,
there.
nice snipe by Nairo.
Okay.
Yeah, Peach Beach chosen. Jaggy able to get up there at the very least. Wexos dropping Bill, I have to assume. Um, nice back wide from Headway, getting the Nana up onto Nairo there. Triple shrooms. A lot of LSA in the front is actually. Is LSA is 4 out of the top 5 now. But it is Peach Beach, so unfortunately a lot of shrooms could be quite the detriment in the low spot. And we do see Theo actually proving my point, golding up immediately, but staying behind Luke and Nairo as well. Unfortunately connecting a little bit into the dirt. And another one of his teammates getting bumped out by Jaggy. So LSA into top 3 going into this lap 3 there. We'll have to see if they can at least try and salvage a couple races. No chain of Theo either, going to be stuck itemless in 4th. Oh, actually, no, that is Juju going up. LSA now into top 4 at the last leg of this race, but Shock comes out late. We do see a dodge out of a Nordic member. Luke gets redded out. So Nordic should be able to salvage this race that seemed to be a bit of a last hope on the side of LSA, but they end up getting bottom 2 even after all that.
Man, that is so unfortunate too. They were the one race that they were just occupying all sorts of top spots. It's a luck track.
It is Peach Beach, and unfortunately with the Nordic Shock getting everyone into set and dodging. I'm not even sure who dodged this actually. Who was in Bill?
I think that I couldn't even see who that was actually, but it was one of the
Yeah,
funkies. So I think I might have been Lonnie.
might have been Lonnie. But either way, yeah, just unfortunately not able to capitalize on that regardless. It
Oh, it
was
was
Arvo
Arvo.
actually. Arvo, Lonnie does get 4th, so it is 1, 3, 4, 6 on the side of Nordic once again.
Yeah, it's just very unfortunate for these guys. It looks like we're gonna get another reset shortly. But yeah, no. Let's just out of respect, let's not talk about any of the
Yeah,
like
no,
any
no,
of those
absolutely.
negative
I
data.
will commend them. I will commend them on playing this out the whole way though. Props to LSA for keeping this going, even with that reset. Probably just going to play that last GP throughout, gonna try and save at least try and get a couple winning races at the end. Try not get completely blown out. So props to them on that. I will say that much.
Well, not much else to really talk about in regards to this match, but this should wrap up the. I think this was like what, a third match of the weekend, I believe, and then we're gonna have
Yes.
I think we're gonna have a triple header on Sunday next week. Wish we had schedule for that too, but I know that I think Nordic is playing. I forgot which team they were playing. I think they're playing. Oh yeah, they have a double header. They play Spain and they play Asia back to back next week.
Well, the last 2 opponents that they have left, really. After this win, at the very least, when it comes to differential, just in case, because we haven't talked about that much, if 2 teams or 3 teams end up being, well, 3 teams will have to be tie. No, 2 teams if they get 2-1, 2-1, 1-2, 1-2. Anyway, if a tie comes out in terms of seeding, it will first come down to head-to-head, and if there's a tie there, because of a 3-way tie or anything along those lines, it will come down to differential. So Nordic definitely have a foot in the door in that regard, so that hopefully they'll be able to get a proper win onto their last 2 opponents to secure a potential first seed. As we mentioned, could be really useful when it comes to the selection of the group that'll come out later for a potential playoffs run. We'll have to see in the rep chat.
Yeah, let's see what's going on.
Yeah, but room is currently being reset. Nordic calling, taking spots real quick. Yeah, so no odds or evens for now. Should just be waiting for that to show up. Yeah, I got. It's hopefully I will say that much. Once again, props to LSA for keeping it rolling regardless. But I do hope that their match against Spain should definitely be a better one to watch. I would hope so at the very least. The match for Nordic versus Asia could also be pretty interesting as well because they're currently the top two squads, at least they're top two seeded squads going into it. So the top two squads of the play-ins should be a pretty interesting match to cast as well. Later down the line, so shouldn't miss it on next Sunday. Room is up. We are currently getting back into the groove. Gonna have to see what the last few races have in store for us.
How many races do we have left now? That's 2, right?
2 races left, I believe, unless I'm not mistaken.
I think it's 3. Yeah.
No,
3.
it is 3. It is 3 races left. You're correct.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind going on a break because I quite literally have like no words right now. We said all we had to say, really, and I mean, like the proof is right there. Everybody can see it. It's just unfortunate that LSA is getting blown out, but no, it happens. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, potentially. Well, granted, the room is currently filling, so I don't know how long that break would be anyway.
I guess we could just stay here then. You want to put like a little like music in the background, I guess, while we wait.
Wait, do you want to go elevator music or do you want to go?
We just set some, I don't know, some like Pokemon music or something. Just for now, because it's gonna take a little bit for it to fill in. But yeah, this is, I don't really know what else to really say.
3 races. It's been tough overall. I will say that much. We did mention just. I will say though, on the side of Nordic, everyone has been playing really well overall. We have not seen anyone really performing better than the others. The multitude of players being in the first, second, in the 1-2 spots. Loney playing excellently in the mid pack for most of that war, able to head out a lot of LSA members before they can just get up there. So overall, just a lot of props to Team Nordic for just keeping the pace going for as long as they have, and hopefully they can do the same against Asia and against Spain. I wouldn't be surprised to see them seeded first out of the plains, but it is Mario Kart. You can never count anyone out until the end of the plane groups in that case.
But I think with this result staying as is, I'm pretty sure that LSA has just no chance of making the group stage.
No, I'm pretty sure 2 losses here. What 2 losses?
What? I honestly don't know. Okay. I think they probably would.
Actually, no. There is one possibility for LSA still making playoffs. They would so essentially one team would have to be Asia. Asia would have to win their match against Nordic. Nordic and Spain would both have to go 1-2, and LSA would have to win their match against Spain. And then it comes down to, I know, but then again, it comes down to head-to-head and point differential. So it's gonna have to come down to point differential, and at this rate, I don't think. I don't think. They would have to win the match against Spain by an even wider margin. Is the takeaway.
Okay, so these last 3 races should go by pretty easy. Hopefully with no resets.
Hopefully. I doubt that, I honestly doubt that we'll see another reset. If there is a disconnect, I assume they're just going to go 4v5 for the rest of it. I would be very surprised to see another reset come out.
But yeah, I think with
we have not. We have not seen any pens this entire match, right? Compared
Mm,
to
no,
compared to
that's not
yesterday.
one.
Compared to yesterday, we saw quite a few of them. So it is at the very least nice to see both baggers playing cleanly. Regardless, bagging battle has been really close overall this entire war. It feels like. All right, we'll have to see. Back in the thick of things on RBC, Hedwig drafting up immediately, getting into first place. Nairo into third, getting his Nana hit out there, could potentially get dragged out by Lonnie or just dreaded by Theo, and it is gonna connect. Or actually, not sure if this is the one connecting or if Lonnie backed him out. It's one or the other. Either way, Nordic now already into top 3, and on RBC, gonna have a lot of work cut out for LSA after all of that. Top 3 already breaking away quite a bit. Nice
Yep,
back
already
red.
good backs. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Bit of trolling on the side of Nordic. Maybe a miscommunication. Luke's gonna have to spam build to get up there. We do see that both baggers are pretty close, both getting into the second room of the castle here. Cut is blocked, but I don't think Theo's complaining too much. He still has triple reds. He has what he needs to schlag them out.
Oh, wow. I actually passed that to him, too.
Surprising. And the red connects onto Wexos, actually, so hitting out his bagger, unfortunately, for Theo. So Akio maybe... we'll have to see if respawn is seen there. We do see the Daisy going for the respawn. Does Wexos go for it as well? He does. No shock so far, but Akio is in 10th with Nairo holding onto that Mega. Never mind. Actually uses it. Going to try and get back up there. Oh, he would have to use it for that POW anyway, so fair enough using it there while the top spots are getting TP'd. Hey, would you see one of them actually?
Holy blue here as Luke is at first.
It is still I do believe it is still Hedwig and possibly Lonnie into top 2. Well, now only Hedwig as Lonnie is blued there. LSA into 2-3-5 after 2-4-5. Sorry, after all of that, Nairo chaining those triple shrooms, gonna have to try and get back up there. Jaggy taking the cut. We do see Theo goldening up as well, gonna try and break that LSA resurgence there. Passes Jaggy as well, but does hit the Nana, so Jaggy gonna pass him right back. Nairo maybe trying to hit him out there. That single shroom not gonna help out to defend himself, but should maybe catch back on the cut. Nairo hits, I would assume, a fib, seeing the impact. Theo shrooms up, but no chain, so Jaggy should be able to hit him out, or at the very least protect himself long enough to stay up there. Luke does get head out, though. Lonnie takes back his spot into top 2. The entirety of LSA in those mid spots. Shock is used, and TS barely doesn't TS Lonnie, actually. Very quick slowdown allows him to stay on the track, so Nordic should just stay into that top 2. Nice attempt for that target shock, but it's not enough. LSA does get 3-4-5 out of it. Is it their...
Not sure. All I know is it's top 2 for Nordic. That's all I know.
Top 2 for Nordic, and it should be around... they got top 2-5 at the very least that I know, seeing Theo's funky cheering at the end there. Possibly the last member of LSA getting backed out. So it should be maybe top 2... It is top 2-5-8 on the side of Nordic. Luke and Nairo able to keep their spots in that top 4. So we are currently at 108 and 80. Slowing down the hemorrhages for at least a bit, but it is a little bit too late, as we do see last leg of this match so far. I do hope to really see a winning race on the side of LSA, just trying to at least the very least to have a decent showing before the end of this match. It's been a bit of a bloodbath so far. The continuing of the blood analogies, it seems, on my end. LC could definitely be the track to do it. DDR, I'm surprised DDR hasn't been picked earlier, actually, on the side of Nordic, seeing as we were top 2-4-8 or top 3-8 for a lot of this. And I was talking about it earlier. We will see the first Luigi circuit of this World Cup during this third match of play-ins. Gotta wonder what that has in store for us. Oh, welcome back, Fusions, I assume.
Huh?
Heard a mic sound. Heard a mic sound, so I assumed.
I didn't say.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Either way, Nairo getting those greens up early. We do see Jackie getting to first already. It is LC though, so some quick shrooms could make quick work of that top spot. Let's say in 1-3-4 so far. Gonna try and snipe out Lonnie. Not enough so far. Theo does get a golden up. Gets sniped out, but still not enough to stop him from getting top 2 alongside Hedwig. Do you see Nairo with triple shrooms on our other POV? Can maybe try and get up there. A lot of LSA actually in the top spots so far. Aside from that top 2, we do see them in 3, 4, 5, and Nairo should break into that top 2 at the very least. Hopefully Theo doesn't have a red, but Hedwig, great job holding that drift there to get him out of that shroom, and now Nairo's just gone back into 8th. We do see both baggers sitting at the set there, and one of them does get starred out. Akio gets starred out, so no shocks so far on either side. Gonna have to hope that LSA gets a lot of shrooms for this ending section. We do see Jaggy shrooming up as well. Arvo shrooming into the cut.
Close finish here. Oh, jeez.
Oh, that, depending on lag, it can be really not exactly sure who got what spot here, given the lag.
Hmm.
No, okay. I'm seeing Jaggy in chat, but no, we have one more race still. We still have one more race. No, the delay is not that long. They just haven't played the last race for the record. Arvo does get first, 1-3, 1-3-5-7, gets odds. Still a winning race on the side of Nordic for the second to last race.
Jaggy, you did your best, brother. It's all good, man. Don't worry.
No, absolutely. Once again, props to you for even getting on that stage in the first place and playing those 12 races fully. Definitely, I know a lot of players who have bowed out by race 8, so props to you on that. Oh. Bit of a disc error. I would assume reset and race.
They already used their two resets, so.
Oh yeah, nah. No point then. Might as
They're
well
just-
go. So unfortunately, we'll only have the POV of Theo for this last race here. DDR or MC3 or the random. DDR is going to be picked as our last pick here. Gonna have to see if they can make. Who knows? Maybe they'll get the last winning race without Nairo. Would definitely be pretty hyped to see. Regardless, DDR. One of our most technical tracks in the base game, so Nordic might just have an advantage based on raw experience alone, but we'll see. If I bite my tongue there, Theo gonna start in the mid spots. I would expect maybe a box in 5 or 6. It is what's going to be picked. Triple shrooms immediately, possibly shrooming instantly, not waiting for ultra. Nordic in 2-3-4 already. Do you see Jaggy up into first or second? It's a close battle between him and Arvo so far. Arvo trailing that fib. Jaggy's gonna have to concede for a little bit. Tries to shroom up, but a nice wall glitch keeps Arvo into first. Jaggy, those greens could definitely do some damage here. Greens thrown up, not connecting just yet. It connects onto Wexos, funnily enough. Hits thrown bagger, but not the runner that you want to see. Akio is running though, as we can see by the 2 daisies running. So Shock should be firmly in control on the side of Nordic unless we see a Shock pulled in 9. Hedwig failing the sand hop. Arvo and Theo now gone into top 2. Wexos chaining their shroom. Not what you want to see here with Jaggy so close behind. A red could easily be thrown to try and prevent that top 2. Nana's thrown up, not connecting on either end. Nice wall glitch by Theo should keep that top 2 nice and squarely for this end of that lap 2. We do see Wexos going forward as well. Not exactly sure if he's just chaining. I assume he's just chaining at that set, possibly. Regardless, Theo gonna just take the cut there, staying close to Arvo. Jaggy just gaining a bit of more distance on Jaggy, but interesting shock by.
That was an LSA shock, yeah.
Yeah, that was a Lusophone shock. You're absolutely right there. Getting that shock in 9s, but using it a bit too late when it comes to TSing Nordic in the top 2 there. But Daisies in the back. We do see Lonnie coming up as well after all of that, possibly dodging in a star or a mega, or just shrooming up after the shock, seeing as he possibly got into the set. Should stay up. Yeah, we do see Nordic into that top 3. Bring down up that POW.
POW the fib.
Very nasty POW, but that is top 2-4 on the side of Nordic, finishing the war just as they started it. I don't know what more to say, folks. I do apologize.
Well,
that 1-3,
that makes 2 of us.
Jaggy does get second, but that is 1-3-4-6 on the side of NDC, ending the war. I don't know if I want to look at table, to be honest. Winning by 196, if table is correct. We did get the Nairo. We did get the Nairo DC points, so it should be correct. So what, by 196.
Well,
I
mean, the table speaks for itself.
I mean, we did hope that they wouldn't lose by 200, I suppose.
I just was hoping they wouldn't get blown out. That's all that I wanted.
Well, we talked about it mid-cast, so I'm attempting to find some silver linings, but yeah, I do think there's a very low chance for LSA to make the group stage by this point. So it could very well be Curtains Nordic, just a dominant showing all throughout. I believe winning all 12 of those races in that war. Definitely impressive to do on the World Cup stage, showing exactly why they're the top seed in those play-ins. Gonna have to see if they can put on the same show against Asia and Spain next Sunday. But yeah, overall, just congrats to Nordic. Very impressive showing by them overall, keeping the top spots throughout every single part of this war. The only race that maybe could be considered an exception was BC Wii, where a very late shock by Wexos allowed NDC to just get back in the front right at the end. So yeah, congrats to Nordic overall. All 4 players breaking 100 as well. Just overall, really impressive showing. And yeah, I am admittedly unsure about how to finish this cast. I was definitely not the sort of definitely not the typical match of World Cup, that's for certain.
Yeah, but well, you know, every now and then we have a World Cup match where it ends up being extremely one-sided. So
yeah, it is expected. Those play-ins, they're the one spot where you can absolutely see those sorts of really blowout matches. Unfortunately, so, but yeah, it is probably just going to be call it there. No point in dwelling on this match overall. We do hope to see you next week for the rest of the play-in stage to see if Nordic can keep up the pace and beat out Asia and Spain for a chance at that top 16. Any last words? Any last words, Fusion?
yeah, well, we'll see you guys next week. I know that everyone's just gonna be saying, "Oh, well, I mean, they lost by nearly 200 and what," but again, it happens. But it happens to the best of us. But you know, it's just tough to have to sit through that because you're hoping that they have a chance to win. But I mean, at this rate, man, I mean, it just sucked having to watch that.
Yeah, unfortunately so, but hopefully it will be the last of this World Cup. Thank you guys for watching still throughout all of that. Very much appreciated. Shoutouts to all the viewers, shoutouts to all the players for all of those 12 races. Shoutouts to our stream host, Astro, and we do hope to see you for the rest of this World Cup. So I hope to see you guys there, and I hope you have a very nice day.
Later.